Welcome back to Brews and Boxing. We are your Jarrett Hurd at number 2 leader. That's right. Raider Live is back again. Shady's back. I'm back on the bottom, back in the hosting chair where I deserve to be. I missed last week, boys, but I could tell that no one had Castano as high as he should be. He should be number 1. And let's vacate that one, too. We'll talk about that later. Gentlemen, it's good to be back. Filthy Rich, how you doing?
Good to have you back. Just want to comment on the Olympics being over. The U.S. did not deliver a gold, but they definitely delivered us a future star, Keyshawn Davis. Look out for this guy, man, for real.
Right on. And then my other co-host, of course, the other expert, here's me sneaking up behind me here, is the Judge, Jimmy James. Judge, how are you doing?
I'm very, very sneaky, you know. The strawberry is the only fruit that grows its seeds on the outside. So sit on that.
I'll drink to that.
Well, thank you, Mr. Wizard. All right, we have a lot of interesting news to get to this week, and plus, Filthy Rich has put a game show up to see if my undefeated record streak remains intact against Judge Jimmy James. I'm guessing it will, but you're going to have to stay tuned to find that out. Until then, gentlemen, let's get on with the show here with a little drinky poos, we call that, a little toast to being back, and a little toast to some good boxing. Whoa, shoot. A toast to exploding beers.
Cheers, boys.
Oh, that might be expired. That's not good. All right, let's move on with it. All right, we're back with Brews and News, and I'm back with a new beer because that other one just kept exploding like a volcano on, one of them kids' science experiments. Oh, we got an 8-count beer, so now we're good to go here. Bunch of news to get to this week. Of course, the big news that everyone's talking about, sadly, that Errol Spence tore a retina in his eye during a pre-fight medical checkup and is out against Manny Pacquiao. The big fight that we've been talking about for a few months now, of course, doesn't happen. But fortunately, Ugas was on the undercard, and his opponent also tore his retina. So they decided, well, we're already on the same card. We already got it all paid for. Let's just do us, fighting us. So we got Ugas versus Pacquiao, which isn't the super fight we were hoping for, but it's not a bad fight. It's not something to overlook, I don't think. Ugas coming in at 2.5 to 1 underdog right now. Not that big an underdog. What do you guys think about Ugas as being the last-minute replacement for Spence? We'll start with you, Judge.
Well, as far as it being a last-minute replacement, they're already on the card. They've already been training. They're already set up. So weird how the cards fall, right? Definitely didn't see that one happening. The fact that both of those fighters had a messed up retinas is kind of weird. Like, that's super coincidental. It's super strange to me, but either way, I mean, it's probably going to be a decent fight. Definitely not to the caliber, of Spence. I'm going to say it right now. I don't know why Crawford didn't just slide right in and try to take that. Ooh, dropped one.
Oh.
Yep, dropped one. Guess who's going to get to edit that out? But because I know he's been training with Amir Khan. Like, he's in. Oh, I did say it. Well, I'm gonna have to put that one in.
2 for 2, all right.
Been a long time. Yeah.
Welcome back, Raider Live.
Yeah.
For those at home, James took over editing for the last few weeks, and now he really wants to edit a lot because he's got an Amir Khan and a Doe right in the first story. Well done, sir.
Yeah. Well, let's get it passed over to Rich real quick here. But I don't know why Crawford didn't slide in at some point to try to get this, because I don't think he has anything that's locked in yet. But either way, Pac-Man versus Ugas, I think this is still going to be a very good fight. Ugas's last fight was against Abel Ramos, which is horrible. But his fight before that was against Sean Porter, and it was a very good fight. I think Ugas is going to probably surprise more people than disappoint. But unfortunately, I think this might still be Pacquiao's last fight. So this is kind of a bummer to his legacy. But either way, at least we're still getting a fight. I do want to touch, somebody else is going to have to touch on this, but it's still a pay-per-view fight. Is it still going to be full price at what it was charged for against for Pacquiao versus Spence?
That's what I heard. That nothing is changing on it. I just saw that on the posts on like Boxing Elite and stuff like that. So I haven't had a chance to 100% confirm it either. It's it's still a week from Saturday, so they might change the price on it. I imagine before then. I don't know.
Lower it.
Lower it. They probably won't though, because if you've already pre-bought it, what are you gonna do? Give them a refund? They're not giving money back.
I don't know.
There's a key thing that always is underneath every card on every pay-per-view you ever buy. Card is subject to change. They never have to give a refund because of it.
And non-verbal binding. This is baloney. Anyway, I don't want to talk anymore.
Good, because you're gonna have to edit out all your stuff. All right, Filthy Rich, what do you think about this fight? I know you've been an Ugas guy in the past, but you've been a little disappointed in him, especially his last fight.
Yeah, I think one of our first shows, the first month of the show, I think we broke down the welterweight division. I had Ugas ranked number 2. I had Spence number 1, Ugas 2, I believe Crawford 3, and Pacquiao 4, probably Porter 5. That was a long time ago. Why I remember that, I have no idea. But like James touched on briefly, that Abel Ramos fight was a bust. He should have knocked out that old man, and he didn't. So he dropped a few notches, but he beat up Porter. He took a loss for some odd reason, but he beat up Porter. I thought he won that fight. I think this fight it's not being overlooked, but when you are, how do I put this? Like, Cubans don't get much love because of their fighting style. They come off very defensive, but Ugas is like the antithesis of that. This guy doesn't have that super defensive style. He has an aggressive come forward style, which is why he beat up Sean Porter. I don't know what happened in that Ramos fight. I just don't have an answer on that part, but getting a bad scorecard, a bad 9-3 scorecard, I think he learned his lesson. I have to put these guys away. So I think we're going to see an aggressive Ugas. I think this is going to be maybe even a better fight than Spence and Pacquiao, because I think Spence was almost a foregone conclusion, where this one, if it's 2-1 odds, you're saying,
3-1 now, actually
3-1 with Pacquiao being the favorite. Yep. I don't know what the Spence one was, but Spence had to be a bigger favorite than that.
No, he wasn't.
I mean, I don't know. I like this fight. As far as pricing and stuff goes down, look, the price is probably not going to change, but they also don't have to pay Spence to be on this card, so they don't need to do anything. The fighters are all basically paid, so the buy rate's not going to be, there's probably not going to be 1 million buys. It'll probably be in the 250,000 to 500,000 range. I think everyone's going to be happy at the end of the day. I just want to know who's going to replace the undercard Ugas. They got to have somebody ready to go.
I'd imagine the undercard is probably going to suffer a little bit on that one. Plus, go ahead.
Nothing about the undercard, but real quick, before we jump on to something else.
I wasn't jumping off of it.
Oh, look close. Anyway, doesn't matter. Just want to put this out real quick. Interesting stat. Ugas in the past 7 years has only lost once.
To Porter.
Yeah. Controversial loss. 7 years.
Yeah, and Pacquiao hasn't fought since what, the World War II? Feels like.
Yeah, something like the Renaissance, something like that.
I don't know. All right, quick predictions for this one, boys. We'll get into it more in depth next week, before the Saturday before the fight, obviously, and we'll probably actually have a pre-show on this, since we'll probably be watching this at the judge's house, and he'll be one of them $250,000 buys, I'm sure. But what do you guys think? We'll do early predictions before. We can always change them next week, but your early thought prediction looking at this right now. Filthy Rich, you go first.
I think Ugas is going to win this fight. I've always.
Bye.
He's gonna have to knock him out. He had to have learned his lesson against Ramos, and you know how I feel about last minute replacement fighters. Joshua Ruiz is like the example that comes to mind. I think Ugas has Pacquiao's number.
Judge?
Pac-Man.
Bye.
By a win. He wins. I don't know. Ugas is a tough customer to knock out, man. I don't think it's gonna be a knockout. I think he'll probably go the distance, but it'll still be, I think, a decision by Pac-Man.
I was hoping you weren't going to do a Matt Seabach answer there, but so it sounded like what was going there. I'm going to pick Ugas by decision. Actually, I think Pac-Man's going to run the distance, but he's going to run out of gas at about the 9th, 10th round. Ugas can be able to win the last few rounds, and be able to win it like 8-4. That's what I'm kind of banking on. I might wait and see if that Ugas goes up to 3-1 or 3.5-1 because a lot of money is going to come out on Pacquiao. So, all right, we'll get more into that next week because that one's a week from Saturday. But we have some other news to talk about here. Second bit of news: David Benaviez tested positive for COVID, and his fight on August 28th is postponed. That is also Matt Seabach's wedding, so apparently he will not miss that fight. Too bad for David Benaviez. What do you guys think? Is it going to be able to take a fight this year after this or not? We'll start with you, Rich.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Like, this one goes all over the place. For Benaviez, I'm not saying the dude's ducking anyone. Don't get me wrong, but like, you got to be an idiot to not like. You got like at this point, if you're not vaccinated, I'm done with you. Like, I really am. Get vaccinated, people. Now, you can still catch the virus. This is not like some Dr. Oz show. I don't know where to go from here, but how this fight gets canceled because this dude tested positive, I mean, and maybe he is vaccinated and he still tests positive because, hello, that can still happen. You can still catch the virus after getting vaccinated. All that aside, Plant needs an opponent. I don't know who Plant is going to be fighting, but Benaviez and Plant have been going at it for a while. Now that the Plant Canelo thing temporarily fell through, because it looks like their talks might be on again. I think Plant and Benaviez, this almost sets it up perfectly for the two of them to meet. Now, as far as who's the opponent, what's the dude's name?
Uzcategi.
Jose Uzcategi. There's got to be somebody out there who's willing to step up, even if it's a Durrell or something. I don't know too much of the rest of this card or that fight, but Benaviez was the attraction of this card. He is no longer there. I'm still going to watch because I'm a junkie, but that's all I got to add to this for now.
I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to open this both up to both of you before I turn it over to James here. Is Benaviez quickly becoming the new Adrian Broner? I mean, he's had problems with cocaine suspensions, missing weight, and now COVID. Is he becoming the new Adrian Broner, a big name that's never going to really pan out anymore?
I disagree. I disagree with that. He's only 24, man. I don't think that's the case at all. I think this is just he
Broner's
probably
only like 32, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Benaviez is probably just sharing too much cocaine, man. You know, cocaine's a hell of a drug. You don't want to do that stuff. It's bad for you. Don't do it. But I mean, it's just unfortunate, really. It's just super unfortunate. I don't think he's gonna be anywhere close to Adrian Broner.
Hey.
$13 in my name. I don't want none of that stuff, but that's my opinion.
Hey, Adrian Broner, if you're ever in town, I'll buy you a Subway sandwich. How about that?
It's too early to tell with Benaviez. Look, we
definitely
may
going down
back,
that path, though.
We might look back at this show, and you may have like pinpointed it on this day, but I think it is way too early to call him the next Broner. But again, 10 years from now, we might go back to your statement and go, "You had it right all along," and that'll be the first time you've ever heard that in your entire life. I think to that.
Right? Well, you mean you said I was right all in the after show last week.
No,
what do you think?
That.
What do you think about this one, Judge? About the Benaviez testing positive for COVID this time, missing another fight?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I just mentioned a little bit ago. It's kind of unfortunate. It's just a bummer. I wish this wasn't the case. Like if it was 2 weeks and they just reschedule it right away and it's going to happen right in the beginning of September, then cool. I don't know why if you're that confident in it, just schedule it. September 11th, boom, done. There you go. Ready to rock. You've already been training. Why postpone any further at this point, right? Or, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Uzcategi doesn't want anything to do with you anymore, so go away. But it just sucks because really looking forward to seeing this fight, then moving forward to see what shapes the 168 division, to see if Benaviez just dominates. Man, now who's next in there? With Callum Smith retiring, I don't really know. I mean, Caleb Plant's the only other guy up there that's like a super big name. Did they fight, or does he fight Canelo? It's leaves a lot of stuff on the table. Hopefully, it doesn't just dissolve. Hopefully, they can make it real quick. If not, well, I don't know. I guess see you next year. I guess.
It's getting really frustrating having all these fights get canceled, especially at the last minute. It's really, really sad and frustrating. Hopefully that stops happening. All right, let's move on to the next bit of news here. WBA President, Filthy Rich, you're going to like this. WBA President Gilbero Mendoza once again pledges to reduce its number of world titles. We've said all along in this show that there are way too many belts. Belts mean nothing. The only belt that means anything is the BAB belt. And I think we retired that. We haven't even had that up there for a while. So Filthy Rich, this has got to be like Christmas morning to you in August, right? To hear Gilbero Mendoza talk about that.
Well, I mean, I guess, but look, I believe the article said something about it's because of financial reasons. What financial reasons? Like, it just shows you the corruption that you have to pay like a sanctioning fee and like all this garbage. How about reduce your sanctioning fees? We had a fight just at the Armory just a few days ago. It was for the WBA interim welterweight championship between two guys who weren't even ranked in the top 10. Two guys I've never heard of until that night. So you're going to reduce titles. I mean, good for you, but I've never paid attention to your titles anyways. Like, I'm glad I don't know if they think they're doing the right thing or this is for the boxing fan. I don't get it. I never understood your titles. They don't matter. And what would you say? The WBA or I don't even know what
the WBA.
I don't care. I don't even care what sanctioning body it is. They're all the same. I don't care about any of these sanctioning bodies. They're all like, I have zero tolerance for any of these sanctioning bodies. I don't care. You can add belts. I don't care, man. That's probably what they're going to do. As they eliminate one, they'll probably add one to a different division. They're already creating new divisions. Was it the WBC that created a bridgerweight? Maybe they're eliminating one belt so the WBA can get into this bridgerweight thing. I've had it with all these alphabet organizations.
It's all about they want the winner to be able to hold up some gold in the ring. That's basically all it wants. It doesn't matter what the gold is. That no one can even see what the belts are. When they come out with 105 belts around their trainers and their posse when they're walking the ring, you don't know what any of them are anyway. But I think it's all that visual that it has to be a big fight to have a belt. So I don't understand that. Judge, what do you think about that? Do you think he's going to follow through with this pledge to reduce his number of world titles? He did say titles, not belts, so he might just still add belts and not have them as titles too. You never know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, so I'll say this first. The reason, besides the money, if you take the money out of it, right? One of the bigger reasons to obviously this maybe ties into getting more money, but either way, the more times you say like this is a championship fight, that's going to get a casual fan interested more than just going, oh, it's a fight against boxer A and boxer B. Well, who the hell are boxer A and boxer B? I don't care. They could be the best fighters in the world. Ain't for a belt. Nobody cares, right? And that's unfortunate. Now, hardcore fans like everyone here and everyone listening, yeah, that doesn't matter to us because we already know who the good fighters are and we know what the good fights are going to be made. So it's kind of important either way. But do I believe that he's going to follow through? I'm going to say no, because the world revolves around money, and he made the same pledge about reducing the number of world champions, is what he keeps saying, like 5 years ago, and it didn't happen. And he's saying it's going to start in October. With what? You're just going to take belts away from somebody? Like what? Devin Haney? Well, not, whatever. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Whoever has belts for the WBA, they're just going to take those away. I think it's going to be real hard to do because at the point they earned it, right? I think us being fans, we deserve.
Nobody earned any of those belts.
Well, people fought. They're in the ring. They're making sacrifices. Like I get that point, right? And everybody wants recognition, but it's just no. I don't believe it's going to happen. They've said it before. Actions speak louder than words. So, Mr. Gilbert Mendoza, show me something.
Yeah, show us something, and then everyone else start following path, or maybe all these other ones are kind of trying to make up or say, hey, we can add more belts now because the WBA is taking away theirs, so let's just keep it going.
I remember years ago, Eric Bischoff awarded Triple H the world title. He beat nobody. These titles are as good as WWE titles. They mean zero. Titles mean zero, even in wrestling, and even in maybe UFC titles have some merit, but I don't even think they have anything. But that's all I got.
Way to drop the wrestling reference in there.
I had to. I
had to do it. Had to do it. All right, let's move on to the last bit of news here. More WBA news, actually. They've been a little active this week. They suspended the judge at the Armory here. Not our judge. He's not suspended.
Although
but, we had some fights at the Armory here in Minnesota where we filmed the show. And there was one fight that was ridiculously judged where it definitely went the wrong way. The WBA suspended this judge after this terrible score and then discovered that they had a bunch of racist tweets on their Twitter account about, I believe it was LeBron James. So I know you're going to be interested in that one there, Filthy Rich. And one of them was about Michelle Obama, I believe. So is this going to be a new thing on the future of some of these promotions that are actually going to start punishing these judges like we've been talking about, especially in the Charlo fight, which I think that guy should have been punished, but because Charlo lost that fight. But do you think this is just kind of a flash in the pan? It's because they found the racist tweets is why they're doing anything about it. Judge, we'll start with you.
Man, I'll try to keep this short, but I believe that I hope that this is the catalyst that then holds these judges accountable to what they're putting on a scorecard, right? Nobody wants to see a bad scorecard, but when you have so many people that are either experts at ESPN or Showtime, anything like that, and these people who've been doing it forever, and maybe they're not into it anymore, right? And this just seemed like I watched this fight and the 117-110 where Fox actually knocked the guy knocked him down in the second round. That was the only round that he won, which is crazy because I watched the whole fight. I don't know what everyone else is watching, but that was just insane. I hope that this is the catalyst that starts holding these judges accountable, which you just got suspended for 6 months. Here you go. Maybe you can come back in 6 months, but it just makes it so what you're putting on that paper matters more, right? We need to have that happen. This has just been like too often, at least in my recollection. And maybe we're looking at it a small, maybe the scale isn't the greatest, right? But whenever you look at someone's paperwork, right? You had 20 questions that you had to answer. We only look at those red marks. And if you had 6 red marks out of 20, that's bad. That's what I feel like this was, man. So I hope this is the catalyst. I really, really hope that people start getting held accountable, but I don't know. That's all I got to say about that.
What was more egregious to you after seeing this fight? Was it that one or the Adelaide Bird scorecard in the first Triple G Canelo
fight? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's bad. That's a good one. Let me think on that.
All right, I'll let you think on that, and I'll go to Filthy Rich here for his opinion on this. We'll come back to you. Filthy Rich?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm never prepared for this stuff. Maybe I need to work on that. One thing that comes to mind right away is Kenny, what's his name? I want to say Kenny Mayne. Brian Kenny. Kenny mentioned to Lennox Lewis, you've been on the bad end of on scorecards. And he was referring to the Evander Holyfield fight where Lennox Lewis clearly beat Evander Holyfield and it ended up a draw. Because what happens is 2 people have to have bad scorecards. On this instance, this was a unanimous decision for Maestre, for Miguel Maestre. I can't remember his name. Gabriel Maestre. This was unanimous decision. All 3 scorecards were bad. So they penalized one person because of racist tweets. Like, I don't care about the racist tweets. If you really dig down to, you're going to find racism wherever you want to find it. I don't know. I don't know how to put that, but I don't like that slippery slope of suspending somebody because of racist tweets. That should have been looked at a long time ago in the hiring process. I remember Josh Allen had racist tweets before he got drafted to the Bills, and his stock dropped, and they drafted him, and now he's really great. Let's not even go there right now. But all 3 judges had this unanimously. Now, look, I thought the fight was pretty close. I thought Michael J. Fox won. It's not Michael J. Fox, but it's Michael Fox. I don't know what his middle name is. Maybe it is a J. I'm taking a guess. But Michael Fox, I thought won. I thought he barely won just about every single round. So I don't know if I'm really mad at some of these scorecards. I think it's a bit much. The story here is the lady got suspended for racist tweets. I don't know if she got suspended for a bad card. I think that's like the story they're trying to push on us. But if that's the case, the other score, this was unanimous. Again, if you're going to suspend her, I think it was a lady, suspend all 3 judges. And like you said, James, the catalyst, maybe this is where this is great, but like not for the racist tweets. For bad scorecards, I'm okay with. And I remember mentioning this on, I think it was our after show about Olympic boxing. There are 5 judges. They need 5 judges. It's harder to bribe 5 judges than it is 3. So maybe we start there, add 2 more judges, throw away the good and the bad, and then end up with 3. I don't know, but suspending this person for a bad scorecard, I'm all for. But racist tweets, I'm not. I don't care about all that.
All right, going back to you, James. Which one was worse, the Adelaide Bird or this one?
LA Bird.
Oh, I didn't see this fight, but you're saying scored a knockdown in the second round, and that was the only round that he won on her card.
Something like that. Maybe one other, but it was bad.
Here's the thing.
Like, at least give it a 10-8.
This fight reminds me a lot of that Adrian Broner fight where Rader did say, if that guy wasn't Adrian Broner, would he have won? Because I thought this Michael Fox was basically running away from his opponent the entire fight. I still thought he won. That's what happened with that Adrian Broner fight. Adrian Broner ran away the entire fight, and I still thought he won. So I'm okay with Michael Fox winning this fight. I don't think Gabriel Maestre won that fight, but I'm not going to be angry with scorecards because I thought every round was pretty close.
Well, I think Judge would beg to differ with you on who won that fight.
Come on, man. The fight, dude outlanded him on power punches. Maestre had more power punches. Here's the thing. Maestre is he's a more polished fighter. You put both those guys against someone else, a common opponent. Where are they at? Welterweight? If you put them both against like a Omar Figueroa, I think Maestre could beat Figueroa. I don't know if Fox could beat Figueroa. I think that's why. He was an Olympian. I think these judges tend to favor the more sophisticated boxer, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? No? Okay.
Hey, man, the head of the WBA is from Venezuela. Maestre is from Venezuela. Don't say.
Here's the other thing. Did you see the gloves? Remember, that's another story they didn't touch on. The gloves before the fight, right? So before the fight, they're going to touch gloves at the very beginning. And Fox's corner says his gloves are rigged. And they spent like 5 minutes cutting tape off of Maestre's gloves. I'm thinking there might be corruption there. Does he have loaded gloves? This is loaded gloves part 2. And even Brian Kenny mentioned when we talk boxing history, we don't need to go back 100 years. We can go back 15 years. And I know he's referring to Antonio Margarito with his loaded gloves. There was something up with the tape. So if anything, Fox should have won this fight by a landslide because Maestre was trying to pull something. And that I did not like. That is a huge no-no. Close rounds, I would have given it to Fox on principle alone.
Okay, Deontay Wilder.
All right, I'll give James the final word here before we move on to the next bits.
That's it. I already said it.
All right, that's his final word. Is I said it. I seen him. So, all right, let's move on. That's Bruising News this week.
All right, it's about that time. Let's stop with our text messaging and let's get on with this show. We are doing a little game show here. I won something not too long ago. I get to host a game show with these two going at it. And apparently the loser is going to be drinking Tecate at an upcoming fight.
Excuse me, Filthy Rich. Sorry to interrupt real fast. I just need to change something here real fast, just so you guys are ready here. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's not it. Where is it?
Oh my goodness.
There. Oh, of course it's not. I blew it. I'm supposed to be all set to go. There it is, undefeated.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're gonna be. That's not gonna be there next week, or a month from now, or whatever. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna read you a question. Raider won the coin toss before we aired. He is elect to receive, so I'm gonna read him a question. If he gets it right, he'll get a point. If he misses, the question goes to James. If James gets it right, he gets the point. James gets it wrong, Raider will get another opportunity, and if he gets it wrong, James will get an opportunity. You'll each get 2 chances with each question. What I think I'm going to do here is, for like strategy, you can blow the first question for the 1 point. If you get it right on the second time, you'll get 2 points. So, Raider, this question's worth 1. If you miss it and it comes back to you and you get it right, you'll get 2. You guys ready to go?
I think you got that in reverse. I should get 2 if I get it right away.
No, we're not going to. No, there's going to be a strategy of blowing the question on purpose.
Oh, guys, I don't like you. I don't like you. Filthy Rich, this is filthy. This is dirty. I don't like it, but let's go.
And if I'm down 2, I have to intentionally throw the question.
And I am.
You better hope I don't get it right.
I'm gonna throw a curveball after the second question before the third question. There'll be a curveball. So let's get started.
What is this, the Houston Astros? You're telling me when you're going to throw a curveball?
Yeah, a little bit. Like,
let's get it on.
I'll do this. Raider, I text you all the answers already, so this should be easy. Question number 1. In 2005,
it's Amir Khan. No.
Diego Corrales defeated Jose Luis Castillo in the fight of the year. Personally, I believe it's the fight of the century. Raider, who was the referee?
Kenny Bayless.
Incorrect. James, same question. Who was the referee? 2005.
Oh, 2005.
No! Steve Willis?
Watch your mouth on my show.
Steve Willis.
Incorrect. Raider for 2 points. Who was the referee?
Mills Lane.
Incorrect. James, referee. Diego Corrales. Jose Luis Castillo.
Bird.
So the correct answer is, I guess, you know what? We'll do it for 1 point. Shout out the answer. He was the referee for Ward Kovalev 2.
Oh, that was terrible. Low blows.
Yes, it was that guy.
How
he let this fight go on this long and did not stop.
I can see his face. I can't think of his name.
He did not stop this fight, but he stopped Kovalev Ward, which was garbage. And you go back to 2005, maybe he learned a lesson. I should have stopped that fight earlier. Again, that was fight of the century. Both you guys, your time is up. Tony Weeks is the correct answer.
I can see his face.
I can see him.
I'm looking at his face in my head, and I can see it.
Neither of you got a point, so we're looking at another tie. So
yeah, we're terrible.
Raider might go undefeated. So
hey,
James,
at least I named a referee each time.
So did I.
You named Mills Lane. Congratulations. All right, Mr. James, Judge James. Victor Ortiz fought Andre Berto twice. How many total rounds happened in these 2 fights?
12.
That is incorrect. Raider for 1 point. They fought twice. Ortiz Berto. How many total rounds in the 2 fights?
$24.
Incorrect. James.
6.
Incorrect. Raider.
Is anyone going to get a point in this game?
I don't think so. And what I
let's go 10. Was 10.
The correct answer is between 12 and 24. James, I'll give you another shot.
19.
Raider, you get another shot.
17.
James, one last shot.
Why does he get an extra shot?
I'm drinking 21.
Incorrect. Raider, your last shot.
20.
The answer is 16 rounds between the two fighters. 16 rounds. I believe it was a unanimous decision for Victor Ortiz. And then the other one, Victor Ortiz won in the 4th round. That is a total of 16 rounds. Raider, you ready for 1 point?
I don't think so. I mean, a point is going to be nice to get here.
All right. One and done is probably what's going to happen.
Come on, Shatner. Help me out here, buddy.
Raider Live. Canelo Alvarez defeated. I'm sorry. We'll go through it. Canelo Alvarez. Maybe not. Let's pause. I mentioned after the second question and before the third question, there's a curveball.
Okay.
At this point, here's the curveball. Every one of these questions has a common theme. You can take a guess at the common theme moving forward at this point. You will get whatever. We'll do 3 points. 3 points if you get the common theme right now.
How do you have to get it right now? I haven't even heard any of the questions. I got to get the theme.
No, I have already said 2 of the questions. Like all 8 questions, there is a common theme. James, don't answer. It's not on you yet, unless you have a question. But I'd save it. So, Raider, I'm going to read this question. Let's do that. Raider, I'm going to read the question. Canelo Alvarez defeated Miguel Cotto for the middleweight lineal title, or the lineal middleweight title. Which year did that fight take place? For 1 point.
Ooh, let's see. 2009.
That is incorrect. James.
2012.
What year? Incorrect. Raider.
2011.
Incorrect. James.
It's 2021. I like Miguel Cotto so much.
2015.
Oh my God, you got 2 points, James. Good for you, dog. Good for you.
Oh,
2
snap!
points for
Boom!
James because he strategically said the wrong answer the first time, so he can get 2 points the second time. Good move,
that's what
James.
it was. That's
You're a smart MFer, like Jules would say on Pulp Fiction.
I'm not very happy here that Rich that you sent me intentionally wrong answers to my phone. That's just making me look like an idiot.
My bad, dog. This is question number 4. This goes to our judge here. Do you want to take a guess at our common theme?
So if I take a guess, do I get knocked down points if I try to guess again?
Anything. You can take a guess and you won't lose.
So I'm going to guess that these are all fights of the year.
That is incorrect.
Okay. Well,
Raider, do you want to take a guess since I didn't offer it to you last question?
I'm going to say
or pass. You might say something.
they all have something to do with Canelo Alvarez at some point. They're all connected like Kevin Bacon to Canelo Alvarez.
I like it, but that's incorrect. So, all right. James, your question. Sugar Shane Mosley and Oscar De La Hoya fought twice. Which fighter won both times?
Miss it.
This is a 50-50 question for it's only going to be 1 point.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar De La Hoya is incorrect. Raider Live. Sugar Shea Mosley and Oscar Golden Boy De La Hoya fought twice. Which fighter won both times for 1 point?
I want to say De La Hoya, but I think I'm going to go with Sugar Shane on this one. Mosley.
Okay, that's incorrect. I think James just said Mosley.
No,
he said
De La Hoya.
Who did you just say?
I said Mosley.
He said Mosley.
Did you say Mosley? My bad. I screwed that up. Raider, you got a point. I already marked it down for a point. There's no way you can.
I was gonna say the way you said that was
like,
is
that a trick question?
Yeah, I know. Like holy.
Yeah, if it was a draw both times, then that's news to me, man.
Yeah. Okay, so right now we're at James with 2 points, Raider with 1 point. Raider, before I read this question, do you have a guess on our theme here?
They all involve fights where a boxer had his last fight.
God, I like that guess. It is that's not the correct guess. But here's Here's your question.
I thought that was it. I was trying to think of it.
Here's your question. Arturo Gatti KO'd Carlos Baldomir in 2006. What round was that TKO in? And don't check your phone, Raider. I see what you're doing.
I'm not. I was on we just got a notification on our Bruising Boxing page, and it was because it just got hooked to our Facebook. I was trying to figure out what that notification was. My phone is down.
Yeah. Answer.
Oh, it's me. I
It's
thought
you.
it was James.
It's you.
Oh, what's the question?
Arturo Gatti TKO Carlos Baldomir in 2006. What round was that TKO in?
That was in the 5th round.
Incorrect. James.
I thought if I sound confident, it would work.
That's in the 7th round.
Incorrect. Raider for 2 points to take the lead.
Ooh, that's the 6th round.
Incorrect. James, one last shot.
2nd round.
The correct answer is round 9. The TKO was in round 9.
That was closest.
I was thinking about close. We're not going to do close. James, you want to take a crack at what our theme is today?
Nope. Thought I had it. Now I don't, because you said Arturo Gatti and the other guy. So I am SOL on that one.
All right.
So,
Do I get a guess now?
No, I'll get you next question.
I don't get a guess. We're both taking a guess each time.
Hold your guess.
All right.
James, how many times did Manny Pacquiao fight Juan Manuel Marquez?
4 times.
That is correct for 1 point. That puts you up 3-1.
Of course, you asked him the question that I knew.
That's how
We all knew it.
God, yeah, man. All right. Whoops. What did I just do here? All right. Mr. Raider. Do you want to take a guess at our theme before I ask you this question?
Do they all involve fighters that have been suspended for drugs?
No, they do not. I like your guess. I like both of your guesses.
You're going really outside the box on this, Raider. I really do like the answers that you're giving, because I would not be going that route, and that is super fantastic.
That's what it was. I'm
I'll
trying to
be
get it all
honest,
together.
Every one of these guys could have been suspended for drugs or whatever, but that's just not our theme
I'm just trying
today.
to think of guys, what those guys all have in common.
Yeah.
You're doing good, Shatner. I like the answers. They're just all wrong.
All right. Here you go. Emmanuel Augustus fought Jesus Chavez in 1995. Who won?
Chavez won.
You are absolutely correct, Raider.
Yeah.
Good. You're
I
on
knew
top
that
of your. Yeah, you did. Of course you did. You're on top of your game. So
Finally, you got me one of that. Well, I knew the last one too. But fuck yeah, I knew Chavez won.
all right, Mr. Judge, Your Honor. Do you want to take a crack?
Is
This
it
the last
tied right
question.
Nope.
James
I am
is up 3-2. Do you want to take a crack at our theme?
I'll just bust. I ain't got nothing that's fancy like that Raiders bust now, but they're all Mexican fighters.
No, they are not.
All right. No, they're not.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I know.
Here,
Thanks.
okay.
Otto was the Mexican fighter.
No, they weren't. Just shut up. Let's move on.
All right. Ricky Hatton defeated Tony Pep in March of 2001. I just need you to tell me where either one of these fighters is from.
One more time. Hatton
Ricky-
and Pepin.
Ricky Hatton and Tony Pep.
Oh,
Wait.
Ireland.
Wait. This is on James right now.
Well, you said they asked me.
No, James took the
All right.
question, the
Shit.
theme, but it's
Well,
still
I
his
may have
question.
given the answer.
And watch your mouth again. Stop
I
with
did it
the-
again.
Yes, you did.
Look, I got editing work ahead of me. All right.
Yes,
but
you do.
I believe that Ricky Hatton is from the United Kingdom.
And you got a point for that. So, James, you are up 4-2. The
And I would've
game
got
is
that
like
right.
technically over, but
What do you mean
like
it's technically over?
there's no more questions. That's 8 questions we went through. No one got the theme.
But we both get a guess at the theme. That's 3 points. I can win the thing with the
yes,
3
you
points.
can.
Yes.
Do you want to take some guesses at themes here?
Well, Jim gets the first crack at theme. We go back and forth on it like we
well,
just did. for
James
2.
just took a wild
Okay.
guess and whiffed. So
Okay, so it'll be mine, and he'll go mine, him,
Yeah.
mine, but
yeah, let's do that. Raider Live. What is our theme? I'll give you a guess.
they're,
and then
they're all fights promoted by Golden Boy.
maybe they are, but that is not our theme today. James, you have a theme.
They're all fights post 2015. Pre 2015. Not post. Pre 2015. I'm sorry. I'm retarded.
Well, that may be true, but that is not our theme. So
Wait, we get one more, right? Each one more guess each.
yeah, let's do it. Go ahead. Give me one more guess.
I'm going to say that they're all written by the sexiest host in all of YouTube.
That is a very good guess, but it just happens to be an incorrect guess at this.
Yeah,
time.
I know they weren't written by me.
James, one last guess.
Look, so this might be a little out of sorts, but because of that answer right there, I'm going to make an answer that all of these fighters, their previous fight was against Amir Khan.
No, that's not it either.
Now you're trying to pull a fast one on us.
I don't know if all right, so I will do 1 point for this if you guess this theme. So here's Raider, I'm gonna throw it to you. Well, I guess you know what? Shout it out. I need you to shout it out. Every one of these guys I mentioned lost to the same one guy. Who is that guy?
They all lost to Mayweather.
Yes, you got it. You got it, Raider. 1 point. That puts you. It's
Still a
4-3 for James. But I've got two more bonus. There's two
you forgot
more.
about the lightning round, James.
There's two more. So we're at 43 right
beforehand.
So every one of these guys look through the tape, whether it's Boldemir or Canelo or Arturo Gatti, Shane Mosley, you name everybody I just said, they all took a defeat to Floyd Mayweather. The theme here was
I got a pretty fast.
They all lost to Floyd Mayweather. So here's a bonus question. This is actually worth 2 points. And I'm going to let you guys rotate. James, you'll start. How many? So we named 8 guys. How many times? Wait, not 8 guys, 16 guys. We had 16 guys I named. How many wins does Mayweather have over these 16 guys?
I really don't like you. 14.
No, he's got at least 16 wins. I mean, he's fought a couple of them twice. He fought.
I mean, if you're using the internet over there, then maybe you're getting that answer a hell of a lot quicker.
Well, he said there was
because it looks
16
like
boxers that they all got beat by Mayweather, so obviously it wasn't 14.
No, the theme was that boxers got beat by Mayweather. Doesn't mean all of them. Doesn't matter. What's your answer?
18.
You got it, Raider. 18 victories. What was that? 2 points? So that puts
one. That was 1 point. And I go 1, 1, 2, 2.
It was actually 2, 3, and 4. So this one is the game winner right here. I need to know, we'll start with Raider, how many knockouts he had in those 18 fights against those 16 opponents. How many knockouts? How many times did he knock these guys out?
Not a lot.
This is for the game right here. You guys are too close. We'll say this for 1,000 points. For 1,000 points.
Out of 18
knockouts?
Fights, I feel like probably 6 of them went to the decision, so I'll go 12.
Incorrect. James.
I don't like you guys. I'll go 9.
Incorrect. Raider.
Let's see. How many were knocked out? He knocked people out early in his career, but not so much. 11.
Incorrect. James. This is going to go on forever, isn't it?
5.
That's incorrect too.
Do I get a guess?
Don't lead me on like that, Rich.
I'm
6.
wondering how we shorten this. No, we'll keep going. We're just going to keep going. James, your turn.
10.
Nope. Raiders spit it out.
Hurry
up.
9.
Nope.
17.
Nope.
14.
Nope.
4.
No.
0.
No.
7.
No.
8.
This is boring television here, folks. Incorrect.
11.
Nope.
How many won by knockout? 5.
No.
13.
Nope.
We said them all, I think.
This is terrible, man.
2.
Yes, you got it, Raider. You won.
Come on, that's so.
Raider, you win again. I hate this. How did he win?
I don't know.
We got a terrible game show.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey,
Raider.
enjoy that Tecate there, loser.
If I can make it over or something, I'm gonna drink with you, James. I'll take a hit for the team too.
You like the background, James?
I didn't do a good job either. Raider, don't make me disqualify you for taunting. I can disqualify you after the fight.
I'm over the century against you guys. This sucks.
No,
Well, I thought you already won. I don't know if he was going to change the rules with the bonus round, but it was pretty awesome that it did.
Yeah, I was winning 4-2.
Or you
And then I end up losing 5-4.
The bonus
All right.
round is
Yeah. Well, let's wrap it up. That's our game show this week. I don't know. I guess Raider's gonna be hosting a month from now if he has plans. I don't know, but that was our game show. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's close out the show.
all right. That's our show this week. Hold on real fast. I got to put in that I am a champion. I'm a fighter. I will never get in because Raider Live is undefeated always and forever. Enjoy that Tecate, watching the Pacquiao and Ugas. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a pretty day out there in your backyard, Judge, watching the fights, drinking no bueno out there. Maybe I'll come up to your grill with a steak and say, hey, James, no bueno. All right, that's our show. Filthy Rich, why don't you bring us on home?
I got nothing. I hope you enjoyed the game show. I'm never doing that again.
All right, good filthy minute there by Filthy Rich. That was a filthy 5 seconds. I guess we're going to go with that. How about you, Judge Jimmy James? Where can they hear us if they're watching my lovely face in championship memes? And if they're watching this, where can they hear it on the road?
Well, Rich has got to do another game show because I want my revenge. But
Bonus rounds, bitches.
if you are watching us and want to listen to us, go to any major podcast site and type in Bruising Boxing. Will come up. If you're listening to us on a podcast and you actually want to watch the video, tune in for a new intro, maybe some new graphics on the YouTube channel, which is just YouTube.com/Bruising Boxing. And who knows? Maybe you'll get some sort of Easter egg. Who knows?
Yep. Congratulations to Judge Jimmy James getting promoted to head editor of our show from now on. Big promotion for him. It comes with a lot of responsibilities and no pay raise. So congratulations on that promotion there, buddy. And
everyone loves a lateral move.
We got some fun things coming up here in the future. Some big interviews, some big fights, some big things coming up. But we have other things to do. So we will see you guys next week. For Judge Jimmy James and Filthy Rich, I am Raider Live, and we will see you later.